What up, Yasha Allah? It's your brother Parashah here again. You know what we're here to do, right? What we're here for? For the Torah, to teach Torah. Everybody know. Parashah is the Torah teacher of Yasha Allah. So we're about to go into this Torah otra vez, ¿verdad? ¿Y cuál libro estamos estudiando hoy? ¿El libro de qué? Okay, ¿cuál libro en la Biblia? ¿El libro de Hebreos? ¿Cuál libro estamos estudiando? ¿El primer y segundo libro de la Biblia? ¿O 40 o 60? ¿Cuál libro de la Biblia? La segunda parte, el libro de Éxodo. Okay, vamos a estudiar. So we're going to go into this second book. All right, first of all, I want to make sure you all know that. Let me Shema Yasha Allah Yahweh Alahayna Yahweh Kad wa Habda at Yahweh Alahayaka Bakal Lababka wa Bakal Napashka wa Bakal Ma'adka. Hear, O Israel, Yahweh our power, Yahweh is one, and you shall love Yahweh your power with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your might. Yabarakakam Yahweh Bashem Hamashiach Yahushai. Yahweh bless your name, Yahweh Shai. All right, so listen, the people that came to the Americas, North America, Central America, South America, the first people to this part of the world, the first people to occupy the lands, North America, Central, South America, and the Caribbean, those people are the 12 tribes of Israel. The people that came into the Americas on slave ships, those people also are the 12 tribes of Israel. The people that were taken from East Africa into India, into Pakistan, into Kuwait, into Iran, into Iraq, into Sri Lanka. Those people also are the 12 tribes of Israel. All right, so Israel is scattered all around. We were taken into Nigeria. We were taken into the place called Togo now. We were taken into the place that's now called the Congo, Angola, Malawi. We were taken in so many different places in slavery. All right, so these people are the 12 tribes of Israel, but our primary location is in North, Central, South America, and El Mar Caribe, the Caribbean Sea. ¿Verdad? All right. Checa tus dedos con la toalla, yeah. Checa tus dedos con la toalla. Okay, so we're talking about the tribes of, pero con agua primero. Con agua primero. Okay, so those are the people of Israel. Those are the tribes of Israel. So today we're going to go into the, oh, by the way, don't forget, the next new moon is going to be, what, February 3rd? No, March 5th, right? March 5th is the next new moon. Next new moon is March 5th. After that, the next new moon is going to be on April 4th. That's the new year. April 4th is the new year. Now, Passover will begin April 18th to April 19th, sunset to sunset. That's the first day. Now, the seventh day of Passover is going to be April 24th to April 25th, sunset to sunset. That's the date. Those are the dates for Passover. All right. So now today we're in the fifth day Torah Parashah. The fifth day Torah from the Parashah Terumah, which is Exodus chapter 26, verse 31. No 21, no 41, pero 31 to 37. 31, Exodus 26, verse 31 and 37, which deals with the supreme decor, golden pillars, and deals with women. Believe it or not, going into Sirach chapter 26, verse 18. Wisdom is a woman, and the Most High makes constant references through the spirit of wisdom to the temple, and it compares her to a woman. So the most beautiful comparison and example of a woman that we have in the scriptures is Chakma. Chakma, which in English they say wisdom, but Chakma is our most beautiful example that we have of a woman. Okay? No coma tu uñas. All right, so now we're going to start in Exodus chapter 26. And we're going to go into verse 31. And it goes a little something like this. All right, go ahead.
And thou shalt make a veil of blue. What?
So the veil of blue. Now, this blue is the Tekala. All right, now the blue for this particular purpose represents the law, represents the commandments, like we see in Numbers 15:38. Speak to the children of Israel and have them put fringes in the four quarters of their garments. Okay, so we see that with the with the blue. Go ahead.
And the purple one.
Now the purple, when you go into Mark chapter 15, verse 17 to 18, we see that the purple represents the riches, the royalty of Israel. And Shalom, Cletus, the riches and the royalty of Israel is represented by the color purple. All right, not Whoopi Goldberg, but the color, the purple. Right, and that's why I love to wear purple, I love to wear blue, and I love to wear red. Right, because those are the colors that the Most High set us up in the temple. All around the temple, we saw those three colors. So there has to be, something about those colors that Yahweh really likes. And over here, what do you got? You got blue, even on the breastplate. You got red. You got red. You got purple. You got blue. And you got blue. Who would have known, right? All right. Who would have known? All right. So that's what the color purple, that's what purple represents. I can't say the color purple without thinking about that going Whoopi Goldberg or something. Whoopi Goldberg. So anyway, the purple represents the royalty and the riches. The blue represents the law, because Yahweh said that when you got your fringes, put fringes on the borders of your garment, and on top of the fringes, I want you to put a ribbon of blue, the kala. Not a ribbon of purple, all right, which is Aragon, all right, Aragon, all right, Aragon is how we would say purple, all right, Argamon, all right, Argamon. So you said purple, right? You said purple last color? Not Gargamel, but Argamon, not Gargamel, all right, not Smurfette, but it says, Shalom Zahar Yaikwa Ban God. Big up all the Gadites them. All right. Big up all the Gadites. All right. So now for Argamon. Now, what's very interesting about our Argamon is that when the so-called white man when he was looking at air had oxygen and the air that we breathe. All right. There was a little part of it, about 0.94% or 1%, that they could not identify. Now, come to find out, that piece that they couldn't identify ended up being a gas that they named argon. And when you take argon and you do like an electric discharge of that natural gas argon, which you take water and you liquefy, you take air and you liquefy the air, and then you put pressure on it, and it separates the nitrogen, the oxygen, and the argon. All right. When you do that argon, you get the gas. You get the argon gas. You can spin it through like a nitrogen cooler or a liquid nitrogen, and then you can take it from a gas and make it into a liquid. Anyway, when they did this argon, they found out that the color for the argon, now remember, the Hebrew word for purple is argamon. Argamon, all right, like this. All right. Argamon. That's the way you read it, argamon. Or Argamon. Or Argamon. Let's bring it all the way down. All right, so Argamon. All right. So that's how you write it. So it's argamon, argamon. All right. So now, when they did the electric discharge for this gas, they got it, put it into like a little tube, and they got some electricity and shot a charge through it. When they shot the charge through this argon, let me write it in English too. All right. It's now remember you got argon. All right. Now when they discovered this, they named it argon. See how it's similar? See how it's similar? Argon, argamon. Everybody see the similarities? Now, guess what happened when they tried to put electric discharge, when they did this gas with electric discharge? Can you guess what color it turned? It turned, how you know that? How you figure that out? It changed into the color argamon. So this element on the periodic table of elements, which is going to be abbreviated as I think it's I want to say it's AR, and then AG is like for argon. Let's test it real quick. Is it AR or AG? I forget if it's AR or AG. One is silver and one is argon. Anybody know on the periodic table of elements right here, which one represents argon and which one represents silver? All right, I believe silver is AG, right? I believe silver is AG. All right. I believe silver is AG. So I can answer that phone that comprisa, what I think. So let's check this out real quick. All right. Because we gotta be right. We can't be teaching no false doctrines of science. Or we can't be teaching no false doctrines. Let's see what the Gentiles call this thing. All right, so let's look up real quick. Let's look at argon. All right, so argon is AR. Okay, AR with the atomic number of 18, but it's one atom. All right, so that's AR. So I was right about that. So it's AR. Because Argentina, AG is silver, which is what Argentina is named after the Latin word for silver, because they have rivers that were just flooded with silver at the deposits at the bottom of it, man. So anyway, so the word that we use now for the gas argon, which is a purple gas, is the same Hebrew word that means purple. Argamon, purple. In the Bible, just read it. And then argon, which is the gas that was discovered like the late 1800s. They did like eliminations, and they were compressing the oxygen to figure out what components were in it, and they couldn't figure out what the 1% was. So then they figured it out, and they gave it a name, called it argon. Most High got a different name from it, maybe not. Maybe the name the Most High got from it is argamon also. The argamon means purple. So how interesting is that? That the Hebrew word for purple is the same as the Latin word for purple. Now, the word that they use for argon comes from a word. Well, we're not going to get into that right now. We're not going to get into the etymology of it. All right, but that's just an interesting fact right there. All right, start that from the top again. Amadia Nanai Shaman Ban Parashah, which is the reader for today. Go ahead.
And thou shalt make a veil of blue. And
make a veil of blue. Go ahead.
And purple.
And purple, so that's the Caliph, argamon, and what else?
And scarlet.
And scarlet. Right? Now that scarlet is like a deep red, and of course that represents the covenant. We can look in Exodus 24 verse 6. All right, yeah, Exodus 24, maybe about verses 6 through 8, and then we can also look at John 6 verse 53 to 56, when Yahweh talks about his blood is the blood of the new covenant. So that represents the sacrifice. The Yahushai and that little cow had to die, and the blood from Moses' covenant that Yahweh told him to enter into with us was put onto a hyssop branch and sprinkled onto the people. And that's how we enter into the covenant. And when we entered into the covenant, we said, Kala Sharat Bar Yahweh, Na Aisha, Wa Na Shemai. All right, go ahead.
And fine twined linen.
Fine twined linen. Now, because this was like a veil, it was a little thinner. It wasn't as thick as the curtains. Go ahead.
With cherubim,
Mm-hmm.
the work of the skillful workman shall be made.
Now, this skillful workman is like an embroiderer called Raquam. Raquam is the person that does needlework or that does embroidery. Okay, does embroidery or needlework. So the guy would take the needle or the people, and they would weave these different designs into it. We don't know what the designs are, but the scriptures don't tell us about that. Go ahead.
And thou shalt hang it upon 4 pillars of acacia overlaid with gold.
So 4 pillars of acacia. Now, whether these pillars were oval, whether they were square, or whether they were circular, the scriptures do not tell us. We don't know. We don't know. For some reason, it just doesn't tell us, how the pillars are going to be shaped. Go ahead.
Their hooks.
They're what?
Their hooks.
Very interesting. Finish that verse.
Being of gold.
Uh-huh.
Upon 4 sockets of silver.
So what they do with that wood, the pillars? They talk about the gold, overlaying it with gold? Not yet? All right, so they overlaid these pillars with, once again, gold. Right? The Most High had everything inside that temple like gold. How much respect and appreciation are you going to have for something? Everything that is gold. All right. Now, when it comes to these hooks, when you look at this word right here that we have right there, we look in the scripture and it talks about the hooks. Okay. This is what it says. It says their hooks. But in the Hebrew, it says Wawa. Ya. It says Wawa Yahum. That's what it says. Wawa Yahum. Now in the modern Hebrew, it would say Wawa Yahum. Now, for all the brothers out there that try to say it's supposed to be Yahuwah or Yahuwah. Okay, but check this out. How do you get 2 oo sounds together in the Hebrew? What they say? Uim, uiham. What they say? What they say? Uiham, uiyaham. No, this is wawa. This is not a vowel sound. That vowel pronunciation came in once the Masoretic text started to get an influence from the Ben Asher school. You had 2 main competing schools for the vowel points. You had Ben Asher and you had Ben Naphtali. All right, Naphtali or Asher. So Ben Asher won out. They won. And it is their vowel points, the Nukud system that they developed, that we still use now in modern Hebrew. All right. But now, even in modern Hebrew, they try to say what they say. This is wawa sound sometimes, and sometimes when it has the proper nikud, it makes a U sound. All right, and sometimes it can even make a V sound. So this is the modern Hebrew, but what brothers did, they took this modern Hebrew sound of the and then they applied it to the ancient Paleo pronunciation, which was really supposed to be a wawa. This is wawa ya hum. Now there's no way if you got a wawa and people say, well, this letter is supposed to be U A U. So if it's U A U, if it's U A U, how do I pronounce this one? Do I pronounce it uau uau, or do I pronounce it uau? In which case, if it's supposed to be uau, why do I need a second one? Uau, you can say with this. You can say uau yaham. You see that? How it's redundant. Is it uau and you drop the you drop the U, which is an integral part of this three-letter sound. You drop the U and you say uwa, uwau. Once again, if you say uwau, and it's so ridiculous that you can't even explain it. Only way to explain these two letters being written together by the Most High. Yahweh is speaking to Moses. Did he say, yeah, Moses, I want you to put some uwau yaham. Uwau yaham. Is that what the Most High said? Or did he say, I want you to have some, the wawa yaham, wawa yaham. So this is wa, this is wa, and this is ya, and this is ham. All right. Now somebody might say, uwaihim, maybe. But hey, we're talking about Hebrew, man, and we're talking about an archaic pronunciation. And in an archaic pronunciation, the rules would have had to been very, very simple and easy in an archaic, which is a very ancient pronunciation. You could have had a whole bunch of rules. You definitely didn't have a NECODE system. All right. So let's take this off the board. So this word being inside the Torah just confirms the fact that this character in the Paleo and this character in the modern Hebrew are indeed the pronunciation W-A-W, wawa. That's what this letter is, wawa. All right. I keep reading.
And thou shalt hang up the veil under the clasps.
So this is what you had. You had 4 pillars, right? You have 4 pillars. In the 4 pillars, you had the curtain that you would hang that. All right, the curtain came like this. All right. And you had the hook on the back. Then the curtain came across the top like that. Pretty simple, right? Pretty simple. All right. That's the pillars. That's the pillars. And here's the curtains. Now, this whole area was about 10 cubits. 10 cubits, which is about 15 feet wide. All right. So you had a narrow passage getting through all these pillars. All right, you had a very narrow passage. You had a small passage to get through there. Curtain was on the back side of the pillars. Remember, the pillars are 3-dimensional, not just a flat wall, but they have some substance to them because they're pillars. They were made upright. So behind the pillars had some dimension, right? The pillars have some dimension to them. All right. The pillars had some dimension to them. All right. Let's give them at least that much dimension. And behind these pillars, you had these curtains. The curtains were like scarlet, red, which scarlet, and then a purple and a blue, as well as like a linen that they were like a brocade was stitched different shapes different, and cherubim were stitched into these. All right, go ahead.
And thou shalt bring in thither within the veil of the ark of the testimony, and the veil shall divide unto you between the holy place and the most holy.
So now the way it was set up was that the and I like to draw it like this, like up and down. All right, now which way we got the better? Okay, we can use this side, do this side right here for y'all. All right, so if we do this, now this is not a perfect scale reproduction. All right, but let's divide this into thirds. All right, divide that into thirds. So here's the back third right there. Okay, that's the back third. Now this is that's north, facing the north, and this right here is facing the east. That's facing the east. Over here we got the south. The south, and over here we have the west side. So you got the west right there. Now right here you got these 4 pillars. All right, so you got 4 pillars right here. Bam, bam, bam. So you got bam, 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 bam. All of your eyes on Naphtali. All right. So you got bam. We got 4 pillars. Now these pillars, you got curtains. So let's give the pillars a little bit of substance to them. All right. All right. So you got 4 pillars. And then you got the curtains. All right. You got the curtains. Now inside the curtains, all right, then you got the little poles coming out. Inside the curtains, you have the ark of the covenant. Okay. The ark of the covenant. Now, outside right here, you got what? You got the altar of incense. All right. All right. So you got the altar of incense with the smoke of the incense that's going to be going up. That's the incense. Now, over here on the south side, you would have like the menorah. You have the menorah on the south side right there. And over here on the north side, you have like the table of showbread with the 12 pieces of showbread. So you have the 12. So that's it. All right. So that's how the tabernacle was set up once you start to walk into the actual tabernacle arrangement. Not the whole complex itself, but just not the whole complex, but just the tabernacle, itself. This is how the arrangement was set up. All right. You had the ark. Okay. Which they call it the Ark of Testimony or Ark of the Covenant. And then you have the altar of incense. All right. You got the showbread. Then on top of the showbread, on the other side, you got this is the menorah. All right, go ahead.
And thou shalt put the ark cover upon the ark of the testimony.
So the ark cover went behind the curtains. Go ahead.
In the most holy place.
Mm-hmm.
And thou shalt set the table without the veil.
So the table was set outside the veil, which is right here. Go ahead.
And the candlestick over against the table.
So the table over against, so facing the table was the candlestick. Go ahead.
On the side of the tabernacle, toward the south. See,
on the side of the tabernacle toward the south is where we had the ark. Where we had the menorah, which is the golden lamp made out of a talent. Look up a talent. It was made out of a talent of gold, man. All right, read.
And thou shalt put the table.
Put the table, go ahead.
On the north side.
On the what?
On the north side.
On the Tzapawan. All right. This is Negev going south. This is Tzapawan going north. This is Quadam going east. And this is Mem or Mayam facing the waters. All right. Now, when you rise and pray, you don't face the east. All right. You face Jerusalem, because if you in New York and you facing east, you ain't facing Jerusalem. All right. You facing England or something. So in New York, you got to face southeast, east, and then south a little bit to point toward Jerusalem. All right. If you in Brazil and you face east to pray, you praying towards Angola. If you in Nigeria and you face east to pray, you praying toward Kenya. All right. You praying toward Kenya. You praying toward Iran. So if you in Nigeria, you got to face north and east to face toward Jerusalem. If you're in Brazil, South America, you got to face north, east to face Jerusalem. If you're in New York, you got to face southeast to face toward Jerusalem. If you're in Alabama, somewhere like that, you got to face like south. You got to face almost due east. They got programs out there where you can figure out which direction you're supposed to pray. If you're in India, you know, when I was in India, I had to face northwest when I prayed. Couldn't be facing the east. So Jerusalem is the relative place where you have to face toward, not toward the east. When Daniel was in Babylon, what country is Babylon in? Modern day Babylon is where? Where they call it? Iraq. And which direction do you face to face Jerusalem from Iraq? You got to face west and north. You see that? You got to face west and north. So Daniel wasn't facing east. Daniel was facing northwest when he prayed from Babylon. If we were in Egypt, we had to face, you know, northeast also. Northeast if we're in Egypt, because Israel is northeast from Egypt. So it's not the east. All right. So brothers got to stop saying face the east, face the east. You're not facing the east all the time when you pray. You got to face the northeast. You got to know what direction you got to pray toward. Like right here, I'm south of Israel right now. So I got to face northeast when I pray. Here in Mexico. All right. I got to face northeast when I pray. You don't face due east. When you say the east, you just facing towards the sun and about the sun or the direction east. Because you got Israel in England. If you're in England, which way you got to face to pray? You got to face southeast. You see? You got to face southeast. If you're in Greece when you pray, you got to face southeast. You see? So you got to know where Jerusalem is. So here's the directions, and this is how the covenant, how the tabernacle or the Mashkan or the Mishkan, right here. Let's put Mishkan. That's the word you're going to mainly see. Mishkan, but then the other words, Mashkan. All right, Mashkan. Now, a lot of people will say, well, Mishkan, that's such and such, and I'd rather speak modern Hebrew with vowel points than say it in English. What about you? All right. If I say Akwath, I'd rather Akwathia is my sister. I'd rather say Akoti than to say sister, because Akoti is still closer to Akwath. It's still close to Akwath, but sister is just a whole nother ball game, a whole nother stadium, a whole nother city, a whole nother game on a whole different continent, on another planet. All right. So Akoti, I'd rather say that. So don't hate the modern Hebrew. Despise the pagan tongue, the Gentile languages that we talk. Despise that. Don't despise brothers because they talk in, a different form of the Hebrew. And a lot of you brothers, you learn a new form of Hebrew, or you learn new words, and you want to start to despise and hate on other brothers that don't speak like you speak, man. But then you arguing with this guy in English. Why? Because if you argue in your Hebrew and his Hebrew, y'all can't understand each other. Okay? So you got to learn the Hebrew and write the Hebrew, and then we can have a formidable, discussion. All right? So keep reading. Call your verse.
Exodus chapter 26, verse 36.
Uh-huh.
And thou shalt make a screen for the door of a tent
Mm-hmm.
of blue and purple and scarlet
Okay.
and fine twined linen, the work of the weaver in colors.
So the work of the weaver in color, remember. Now this is the what's that Hebrew word right there? Can you read it? Now I believe this is going into the embroiderer again. Because we read about the weaver before, didn't we? It says the weaver. Okay, so if it says the weaver, that's not the embroiderer. That's the guy that's going to be doing it, you know, actually with the thread as a part of the actual construction process with the woof and the weft. All right, go ahead.
And thou shalt make for the screen 5 pillars of acacia.
So here's the 5 pillars of acacia wood. See that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What I use in the battle of the mind. All right. Said that last time, right? So then you got 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 and 5. Go ahead.
And overlay them with gold.
So once again, these pillars, the Most High said, dip it in gold. Dip it in gold. He wanted this stuff dipped in gold. He wanted this stuff looking good for you. All right, he dipped in gold. All right. And once again, that's why a lot of these garments that we put together, we put the little gold. Let's act like it's going to get stopped. And then press cancel. Hope it comes back up. Come on, connect back. Connect back. All right, we got to start all over on Facebook then. Part 2. All right, so we're sorry on YouTube. Facebook is acting funny. All right, so we're sorry for the delay on Facebook. We got disconnected for some reason. Sorry about that. So we'll let everybody kind of come back on again. Come back on again. Give it a few minutes. Maybe a couple of minutes, 2 minutes maybe. So, just we can do a quick review, I guess, while we wait. So we got the Mishkan, which is the tabernacle complex. And inside the Mishkan, which is the tabernacle complex, we had, man, I'm blocking the light right there. Inside the Mishkan tabernacle complex, right, we had the Ark of the Covenant in the back third of the tabernacle of the Mishkan, all right, Mashikan. So we had in the back third, All right, bam, 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 bam. And then with that, you had 4 pillars on the outside of the ark, where the ark was at. You have 4 pillars. Now, on the back of the 4 pillars, all right, I got this on the front, looks like. On the back of the 4 pillars, all right, you had the curtains. All right, the curtains before you went into the Holy of Holies. That's the Holy of Holies in the back right there. All right, now outside of that, you had the altar of incense, where the Most High had that special incense made that was only supposed to be used at the temple and by Aaron and by the priest and to anoint the furniture and everything. So everything smelled good. And then you had on the north side of the Mishkan, or the tabernacle, on the north side, you had the table of showbread. On the north side, you had the table of showbread. All right, and then on the south side, you had the ark. I'm sorry, you had the menorah. And then on the east side, you had those 5 pillars. All right, 5 pillars on the east side. And we were just reading about the pillars. And then on the west side, you had the ark. So this is the arrangement that it was set up. All right. So the Most High said, well, wherever you go, make sure you shalom, shalom, I Quran, hallelujah. So yeah, wherever you go, this is how the Most High wanted it to be set up. All right. So the Mishkan. All right. So now this right here, once again, we facing the north side right here. All right. So this is facing the north. Okay. This is facing the north, which from where we are, if we wasn't at the equator, so north, would be like going toward the Mediterranean, the showbread. Well, not really the Mediterranean, but going toward like Syria. And then going toward the west, the ark, we would end up going toward the Mediterranean Sea. From the east now, we're going toward Moab and going toward Iraq and all of that. Going south, going toward Egypt, all right, with the menorah. So these are the directions how the tabernacle, the Mishkan, was set up. All right. Thanks for coming back, Ikanon. All praise to the Most High. What verse you in?
Exodus chapter 26, verse 37.
Mm-hmm.
And thou shalt make for the screen 5 pillars of acacia.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pillars of acacia. Now remember, we talked about this acacia wood yesterday. It was resistant to moisture. That means it couldn't rot, and water and moisture couldn't get into it and mess it up. Bugs didn't mess with it. Right? Bugs didn't mess with it, and it wouldn't decay. Okay. Now when it was on a tree, ants lived in the tree because they had some pointy thorns. And ants lived in that tree. And if you mess with that tree, and you didn't know there were ants there, before you know it, there were stinging ants. They'd be crawling all over you, stinging you, biting you. All right? So the tree had a protection of the ants. And also, the tree had like, if an animal tried to like bite at it or scratch at it or something, it released like an ethylene gas. And the ethylene gas kills some animals. The ethylene gas kills some animals. Now, also with this tree, it produced a gum that people chew. Gum Arabic is what they call it, and they call it acacia gum. Acacia gum, or gum acacia, or gum Arabic, or they call it gum Arabic or acacia gum. People still use it. It's used in a lot of ingredients, used in cosmetics, makeup, and stuff. Okay, it's used in sauces. All right, it's used in like sauces. It's used in juice. It's used in candy. It's used in desserts. All right, cakes. They use it in beer. They use it in so many different things, and it comes from the acacia tree. So all these things, all these pillars, all this wood around here, including the ark, all this is made out of the same type of wood. All right, it's all made out of the same type of wood. All right, which is the acacia or shittim. All right, shittim wood or shata. It's called a shata wood. All right, shata wood. It's made out of shata wood. Right. So now this is the arrangement that the Most High, put together, and He told us He wanted it exactly this way, and we had to do it exactly that way. We have to do it exactly as He said to do it. So what I want you to do, I want you to get some paper. When you get a chance, I want you to get some paper. I want you to draw how the temple in the wilderness, the tabernacle, the Mishkan, I want you to draw how it was set up. Now let me draw for you one more time. I'm gonna draw it one more time. All right. First, what we're gonna do, we can divide it into 3 sections. All right. So let's say that's the first section. Let's say that's the third section. All right. All right. So at this first section right here, let's go straight across. So at this first section, how many pillars do we have? We have 4, right? Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 4 pillars. So here we have the gold acacia and shittim pillars. All right, so we have 4 right here. 4 gold acacia shittim pillars. We have 4. This is gold. Golden pillars. Okay. Gold pillars. So we have gold pillars. 4. Now, over here, you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now you have 5 gold pillars. All right, so 5 gold. Remember, this is gold. And then on there, instead of, we have a screen right here. And that screen is made up of the valuable blue. Now, what you have to remember also is that when they got the dye to make the blue, the blue was worth as much as gold when you weighed it. So if you had 4 ounces of blue, it was worth 4 ounces of gold. If you had 2 ounces of blue or a pound of blue, it was worth a pound of gold. So it was an even trade for the gold. So imagine how much dye they would have had to use for this thing, man. This thing is tall. This stuff is like tall. Right? These things are tall and wide, and you had to color them. All right, you had to color them. So now reviewing, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you had the curtain behind it, or this, they call it the screen. Now right here you had the curtain behind it. All right. Now outside of that, for the longest time I thought that the menorah was on the front like this, but it wasn't on the front like that. All right. On the outside right there was what? The altar of the incense. All right. So this right here, all right, let's call that eye for incense. Now inside here is the Kodash HaKodashim. which is the Holy of Holies, where you have the Ark of the Testimony, all right? You had the Ark of the Covenant right there. Right now, over here, someplace in this area, the first 2/3 of the Mishkan, in the first 2/3 part, it was divided into 3 groups: 1, 2, 3. So you have food and light, you have incense, you have the Holy of Holies. All right. So now on the outside, right here, you have the the menorah, the candle, the light, and over here you have the table with the bread on the table of the showbread. All right. So that's how it was set up. So now, the directions. Now remember, this right here was north. All right, and then this over here is south. This over here, this is facing the east. And up here is the west. Okay, so this is the west. All right, la'ah, la'ah, la'ah. This is the west. So this is how everything was set up. All right, so now explain to your children, explain to your parents, or explain to your siblings how it was set up. It's very easy to remember because we only have 1, 2, 3, 4 things. All right. Remember, over here is the south. That's our first captivity when we went into was Egypt. So we just came up out of there. The Most High gave us a cloud by day and the fire by night to lead us. All right, to lead us out of that wilderness. All right. So now on the east side, you just had the veils. All right, you have the veil. Now let's go. Now we're going to show you a little bit about these, kind of go into the pillars a little bit. All right, so let's go into the book of Ecclesiasticus and the Apocrypha, chapter 26, verse 18. All right, let's erase this. Oh, also remember that at the bottom of those pillars, you had big bases of what? Silver, right? You had silver bases at the bottom of them, right? You had silver bases at the bottom of these big pillars. So you had the once again, you had the ported silver, right? And then you had to cast it, skim through. Let's read it again real quick. You had to skim. You had to cast that silver. This was cast. So these things were like heavy. You know, and then you will set the pillar, pillar of you set the gold base at the bottom. I'm sorry, the silver base at the bottom, and you have the silver base at the bottom on the ground. Then inside of there, you put this boom, big old golden, expensive shittim wood overlaid with gold. You set that inside the silver base. All right. Read about the silver base again.
And thou shalt hang it upon 4 pillars of acacia laid with gold.
So the acacia in the back part of the temple was the back part of Mishkan, the tabernacle, was overlaid with gold, the 4 pillars. Go ahead.
Their hooks being of gold.
The hooks, which is the Wawa Yaham. Their hooks, Wawa Yaham. All right? Which is, use the language to refute that. Ask somebody and say, oh, it's a U. Only the U's are the Y's. Ask them to read that word. This is how you write it. All right. Wawa. Wawa Yaham. I see a lot of y'all came back from the first broadcast. The other ones that didn't, man, they ain't true to the game. You have to block them. So while you're home, that's how you say it. Go ahead.
Upon 4 sockets of silver.
Upon 4 sockets of silver. Right? So 4 sockets of silver. All right? So 4 sockets of silver, man. Where you going? Oh, no, we can't come over this way right now. What's wrong with you, man? We doing a class right now. You trying to walk in front of the camera to do something over here? You just gonna waltz on over here? So you had to do the what was I saying? So the silver sockets. What was I saying about the silver sockets? You remember? All right, so nobody remembers. So yeah, the silver sockets you put on the base. Keep reading. All right. So once again, man, this is like a elaborate creation that the Most High, has us putting together. Right? He has us putting together. So we have to really appreciate and respect what he had us do. All right. So here's the puzzle now. Here's the puzzle. Here's the ark. And then here's the altar, which is the altar of incense. And then you have the lamp. And then from the lamp, you have the table. And then number 5, you got 9 pillars. And then number 6, you have 2 sets of curtains. All right, and then for number 7, you have silver bases. And then for number 8, you got hooks. Now, actually, you got 1 set of curtains. And then for number 9, you have 1 set of what? Of screens. And when they say screen, they just mean it was like a looser weave. It wasn't, woven tight. It had like spaces you could see between where the threads were. So now take all of these and put them inside the temple. So to put them inside the Mishkan, which is the tabernacle, so you can see. So then you can see how Yahweh had us doing everything. Okay. So the ark, the altar, the lamp, the table, the 9 pillars, the 1 set of curtains. Well, we'll just say curtains, and then silver bases, hooks, and then screens. So then you got to go and arrange that inside of the temple. And then you also have, and then for number 10, you have the 4 directions for number 10. So now you have to make sure that everything is in the right direction. And this is how you learn. This is how you should be learning. Everything should be integrated and kind of working together. You may not know exactly where it is in the scriptures, but if you know how it fits into the puzzle, what are the key words, all right, then you can learn it a little better, and then you can share it and teach it a little better. But remember, the greatest teachers, the scripture says, are the teachers of the law, all right? They are called the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. That's the only time in the scripture the Most High said he's going to recognize you and look upon you and say that you're great, is when you're teaching and doing his commandments. All right. Now let's go into the book of Ecclesiasticus chapter 26. And let's read verse 18.
As the golden pillars.
As the what?
The golden pillars.
As the golden pillars. Go ahead.
Are upon the sockets of silver.
Golden pillars, like we just read in the book of Exodus, Shamuath or Shemot, chapter 26. As the golden pillars are what?
Are upon the sockets of silver.
So the golden pillars are upon the sockets of silver. You see that? To keep that thing steady, to make it look beautiful, to keep it from the pillars from being in direct contact with the ground. Go ahead.
So are the fair feet.
So are the fair feet, not just the feet, but the fair feet, the beautiful feet, the feet that want to do good, the feet that want to do well, the feet that know that they have a job to do. The fair feet, what?
With a constant heart.
Fair feet with a constant heart. That means dedicated to the service, dedicated to what you need to do, dedicated to the task at hand. And this is talking about, again, when you read in Proverbs chapter 26, it's talking about a woman. So as the pillars of silver are on the silver sockets, so are the fair feet of a constant heart, to a woman that's always dedicated to what her man needs to have done, what her family needs, all right? What are the orders that her head has given her to do? You see, a lot of you sisters out here, you know, you're not constant in your heart. You know, you're not constant in your heart. And a lot of brothers aren't either. And that's why you really now a woman was made to be a help for a man, but the man he was doing just fine without the woman. Am I lying? His trouble started when he got a woman. Let's keep it real. We all read Genesis, the first 3 chapters. Adam's problem started when he got that woman. All right. So a lot of you brothers, man, these sisters, you may feel like they slighting you, or they ignoring you, or they dissing you, or they whatever. They doing you a favor, a lot of them. Because a lot of them that got that type of attitude, man, their spirit is not really for the Most High. Their spirit is not really for the Most High. So they're going to end up causing you more drama and more problems than it's really worth at the end of the day. So her spirit, her mind got to be lining up or trying to line up with the Most High. When you meet her, you shouldn't be trying to convert her, you know, and convince her to do something that she don't want to do from her spirit. And even then, when she is trying to serve the Most High before you meet her, she still might be kind of, you know, off task a little bit. And you got to help her get back where she's supposed to get at. But, you know, I've been talking with a lot of different brothers lately, and this type of woman with those constant feet are hard to find. Brothers having all kind of problems with, you know, with their women. And, of course, women have problems, too, you know, with the men. But in this walk, it's a lot of problems that the sisters, you know, give to the men. Because, you know, I'm not going to get into the whole specifics of the different situations that I've been trying to, you know, help brothers with. But just understand this, brothers. If you are trying to serve the Most High, make sure that the woman you're dealing with is trying to serve the same God that you serve. Because she might be trying to serve another God. She might have another agenda. All right. I've seen a lot of things. I've been to a lot of different countries, seen a lot of different relationships. All right. And out of all the relationships I've seen, you know, some of them were good, some of them were bad. I've seen different cultures, and I know how women treat men, and I know how men treat women. So there's going to be losers and there's going to be gainers on each side. So what the scripture is saying in Proverbs chapter 26, verse 18, it says, as the golden pillars in the sockets of silver, so are the fair feet, stable, secure, strong, the fair feet of a constant heart. And that constant heart just means that she's always going to be there for her man. She's always going to be reacting in a way that's pleasing to help strengthen. All right. It's going to help to strengthen her man. And matter of fact, let's try to go directly to the woman. And let's do it. We're dealing with the pillar. Read that again.
As the golden pillars.
The golden what?
Golden pillars.
So the golden pillar, go ahead.
Are upon the sockets of silver.
So the golden pillars on sockets of silver. Go ahead.
So are the fair feet with the constant heart.
The fair feet of the constant heart. All right. The fair feet of a constant heart. All right. So this woman is a strong pillar for that man. Let's go into Ecclesiastes chapter 36, verse 24. Dealing with the woman and the pillar. Because this is talking about really going into wisdom. Wisdom is that pillar. And it's 9 pillars. All right, you got humility, and then you have the fear of Yahweh. That's all 9 pillars. All right, we have 5 at the front, 4 in the back. We got humility. Then we got the fear of Yahweh. We got the fear of Yahweh. Then we have humility. And then we have knowledge and instruction, understanding. All right, we have discretion. We have equity. We have judgment. And then we have chakma, which is wisdom. So we have all them 9 pillars that make up this temple of the Most High. Remember, wisdom said that she was there at the tabernacle. So let's read, we'll be in 38, 36 and 24. All right. Ecclesiastes 36, Sirach chapter 36, verse 24. All right, read.
He that getteth a wife.
He that gets a wife. So if you get yourself a woman, which is what the word wife means. So you get yourself a woman, go ahead.
Beginneth a possession.
Beginneth a what?
Possession.
So the woman is the possession of the man. Just the scripture says the Most High says, wisdom said that the Most High possessed her in the beginning. What does that mean? When the scripture says the Most High possessed me in the beginning of his way, what does that mean? That means she was in the Most High's hands. She was utilized. She was available to be utilized by the Most High. So she was available for the Most High to do the things that he needed to do. All right. So the Most High possessed wisdom from the beginning, possessed her. And that's why the scripture says that the woman, he that gets a woman gets what?
Beginneth a possession.
He begins a possession. Beginning. All right. So now that's at the beginning. Now he begins to have something that's his. That woman belongs to the man as his possession. All right, go ahead.
A help.
A what?
A help.
A help. See, we read that back in Genesis. A help. So the woman that the man possesses is supposed to be a help. Read.
Like unto himself.
A help like unto himself. So she's supposed to be helping him do the things that he's supposed to be doing. See, we see that's all twisted. The only thing the woman supposed to be looking for in this relationship is, I want to go into this relationship to serve my Lord, to serve my man, to submit to him. Not, we got to do this, he got to do that. That's what no, that's her pride. You're not going to have a good relationship based on the Bible like that. Read that part again.
He that getteth a wife beginneth a possession, a help like unto himself.
A help like unto himself. The woman was created to help the man. So you have to come to the table with the tools that are necessary to help this man. Because he's the gardener. He's the one the Most High put in charge of the garden, and you're coming there to help him. So what you have belongs to him. What you have is controlled by him now. What you have becomes his possession. And then he manages all of the assets and distributes them, all of the talent and distributes them, all of the knowledge and the intellect and distributes them as he sees fit. You might be a brain surgeon, and you might be an open heart surgeon. He might say, I don't want you doing brain surgery no more. I just want you doing open heart surgery. Right? You may know how to do construction, and then you may know how to paint inside the building. He says, well, I don't want you doing construction on the outside like that. I want you just painting on the inside, the walls and stuff. You may know 5 languages. He may say, I don't want you teaching nobody no more languages. You see? Because why? You've gone into adulthood on your own path with your own agenda and your own plan, and you've been kind of just living the life of a single woman. Most of you sisters out there that's listening. And that's where the mistake came in that. You were never supposed to just be let loose out of your parents' house and go live your own life, have babies, and then, 30, 20, 50, 60 years later, now you want to say, okay, I want to go get a man. So now you got to back up to how your mind and how your spirit was submissive when you were younger, and you got to get back in that mindset. Carry the lessons that you learned as a woman, but lose that pride, lose that control. All right, lose those things that don't allow you to help this man that we're reading about. Read that part again. Beget their possession and a what?
A help like unto himself.
A help like unto himself. See that? A help like unto himself. Read.
And a pillar.
And a what?
A pillar.
And a what?
A pillar.
The temple has 7 what?
Pillars.
Wisdom has 7 what?
Pillars.
We had golden what?
Pillars.
And the woman is supposed to be a what?
Pillar.
And a pillar. Now what happens after 9? After 9, that thing comes forth. It comes out now. It gives birth. So you got the humility, you got the fear of the Most High, and now you got all of the 7 pillars of wisdom inside of the temple or inside the tabernacle of the Most High. Now, once you do that, you get that woman set up in that temple, in that tabernacle. Now she ready to give birth. She ready to bring your ideas, your thoughts, your dreams, your realities, your way of serving the Most High, your vision that the Most High is giving you, your family, your wife is ready to bring that thing into fruition because she is a pillar, read,
of rest.
A pillar of rest. See that? So the woman is supposed to be a pillar of rest. Meaning what? You're supposed to be able to lean on her. Are you supposed to lean? Are you supposed to be able to? You're supposed to be able to lean on the woman. All right? You're supposed to be able to lean on her. Make you strong. Gain your strength back. Because remember, the men, but in order for her to become a pillar of rest, this temple was what? What had to be done in order for the woman to become this pillar of rest? And we talked about this regarding man's spirit in general, is you got to chop off all them bad pieces. You got to sand it down and make it not be rough. You got to get smooth again. And then you got to take her heart and make her heart beautiful in the eyes of the Most High with a meek and humble spirit. And then you overlay it with that gold, and then bam, put her in that socket of silver. Now she got a solid, strong foundation, a constant heart. All right, a constant heart. And now she's ready to serve her man. And that's what this is talking about in Ecclesiasticus. So that's what the level is that the woman has to arrive at. And if you don't arrive at that level, it's going to be very hard to deal with relationships with any strong man of the Most High. You know, some brothers are weak, some brothers are strong, but a woman sometimes look for a man. She say she want a strong man, but then she want a man really. Sometimes, I'm not saying all women. Some women want a man that's strong when she want him to be strong. All right. She strong when she wants him to be strong. She don't want him to be strong when she disagrees with him or when she doesn't see things his way. Now she wants to be strong now and lead the way to make that decision and to do the things the way that she wants to do them. But the Most High said that what? He said that she is a help unto him. So if I'm helping you, you get the last word. You can't get mad and be like, I can't get mad and be like, well, don't ask me if you don't want my help. I didn't want your help. I just don't want to do it the way that you said to do it right now. See, the man is still the supervisor and the woman is the employee. It doesn't make you a bad employee just because the supervisor doesn't do what you say to do all the time. See, that's that trick that Satan plays on your mind. Oh, he don't listen to me, so he don't love me and he don't appreciate me. And nah, you got to respect what he says to do. You don't got to agree with him, but you got to obey, submit, respect, and love him. And your desire shall be unto him, and he shall rule over you. And then it says what? It says that, read that verse again.
He that getteth a wife beginneth the possession.
How is the possession gonna? He that gets a wife gets a possession. The Most High said, how is the thing formed gonna say to the thing that formed it, why have you made me thus? So if the man has the woman as a possession, how can a woman say, I'm going to or not going to do this and I don't care what you say?